I'm now going to talk about the History Festival. So this is the second weekend, which will go from Thursday the 18th of January to Monday the 22nd of January 2024. That has two main components. The first part will be a series of displays and exhibitions which will be held around Richmond, principally in the supper room. And if that seems an odd venue, it's simply because it can be locked up and doesn't have to be dismantled and then re-established each time we do a setup. We, of course, would like to use this hall, but there are competing interests for the hall. So where we can, we'll use this hall, but most of the exhibitions which are being brought together, unless they're in houses around Richmond, will be in the supper rooms. The other part of the festival is a history conference, which is most likely to be held from Friday to Sunday. That's the Friday the 19th of January through to Monday, Sunday and Monday the 21st, 22nd. The lead venue will be the Richmond Primary School. Having heard the news tonight, we could very well have a state election on very soon, and the Richmond Primary School might very well be taken over as a polling booth. So we'll probably go somewhere else. So just keep following what's happening to find out where you have to go to for the history conference. The keynote speakers for the conference will be Professor Henry Reynolds, who most of you probably know or see around Richmond. Other speakers will include Professor Alison Alexander, Michelle Harris from Richmond, Wayne Smith, who you may know from talking on the radio in recent years, Robert Cox, who used to be in Sorrel, Nick Clements from UTAS, and Cassandra Pybus, who's a well-known author. There are other people, but those are the people we think will be of interest to people who want to find out what's of interest in the conference. Topics to be covered will be during the presentations will include, interestingly, the origin of the name of the town of Richmond, which is a new view, which is interesting. Early land grants in the district, early settlers in Richmond, and the Coal Valley, including Dr. James Murdoch, who founded Craigow and was, oddly enough, the first doctor in Tasmania Van Diemen's Land to worry about pre- and postnatal care. Henry Rice, who was a convict and became a farmer in the Coal Valley, the background of the Richmond Speedway and the Colebrook Railway Line. Some speakers will be coming from Victoria, as well as members of the audience, and there'll be lots of people coming out from Hobart. We're still working on participation from the Tasmanian Indigenous community, and again, we'd invite you to keep abreast of what's going on there so we can incorporate them properly into the program. Speeches and events are being finalised as we go along. The timing is a bit awkward because we bump into vacations, so some people suddenly find themselves not available. The best way to keep in touch with what is going on would be via the Facebook page or the Richmond Bicentenary website. In addition to static activities like exhibitions and conferences, a number of organisations will be running guided walking tours of Richmond, which I'd like to point out historical features of the town and the place. That's aimed not only to visitors coming in to Richmond, but also people who live here, like me, and have never been on one of these walking tours. So keep your eye out for those if you want to follow them.